guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited you decided to join me on this lovely day. We are building an apartment for a foster parent, which is not something you can actually do in The Sims 4, but I kind of loved the idea. And obviously you could just like have it be for like a regular family, but like when I was building this, I imagined it was for a foster parent. And so there's kind of a wide range of ages that I built this for, and I tried to make it for not as many Sims as possible, because I definitely could have like made there be more, but I wanted there I mean, and that also sounds bad, like obviously like you're not just shoving kids into a foster home, but I do have like some bunk beds to kind of help, maybe if you want to bring in some siblings or something. That's not the right word, but like foster some siblings, they could share a room. But yeah, so we're starting right here in the kitchen. I'm building this in the Eco Lifestyle apartments, the Stone Street ones. And I'm which is just a large square, which makes the floor plan a little bit interesting. We end up having a 3-bed, 3-bath, which is kind of wild, but we don't have a dining space, like a actual dining space. I have that island, which we can use as a dining space, but that is quite literally it. I also use this get together tile, and I like never use it because it is kind of atrociously ugly in my opinion, but because I never used it, I wanted to try to use it. And then I combined it once again with the shower tub combo from Parenthood. I haven't used that one as much as I obviously used the get together one, but a shower tub combo I feel like is necessary, especially because I also have there be an infant in this household, and then I use those little towels that come with get together, which I think is adorable. And we just clutter up the bathroom a little bit. I end up doing all the bathrooms first, and they're pretty identical. At least these two are. So that one is like the general bathroom, and then this other one is an ensuite for the kid/teen room. And they have the same thing: shower tub combo, toilet, sink, mirror, cabinetry, little rug, and then I also add a robe on this door. And then I end up going to the other bathroom, which is also an ensuite for the primary bedroom. And that one doesn't have a shower tub combo. It just has a shower. And then I end up doing a double vanity in here, which I think works out pretty nicely. I feel like you'd want that in the primary bathroom. A double vanity is so nice. Not that I don't think any of the places I've ever lived have had a double vanity, now that I think about it. But the idea of them, very nice. I've had like long sinks, if that makes sense, but we discussed turning into a double vanity, but I no longer live there. So on to the next topic. And neither does he. So anywho, now we're back in the kitchen. I had like just done like the layout of it, and now we're adding some wallpaper. It kind of did bother me that there's like so many different dark woods, but like if you're not focusing on it, they do go together. Like it's kind of all looks like it fits kind of vibes. But oh my gosh, I have a little long of a pause in there. I didn't realize that it was that long of a pause when I was editing it. But I also was trying to speed edit it before I took my sister and her boyfriend to the Stampede game tonight. Excuse me. And then I came back and I watched an episode of the Percy Jackson show. And now I'm recording this lovely voiceover. I'm a little bit behind. I was a little bit behind, and now I've decided that starting on Wednesday, I was going to wait till February, but like, honestly, why wait if I already recorded them? Why not just post the content? I'm going to start doing Stardew Valley gameplay on Wednesdays, and then Sims 4 speed builds on Sunday, just to kind of diversify my channel a little bit and also make it a little bit more fun. I've been kind of struggling, not really struggling, but I've been running a little bit low on creative juices for Sims, and so I think adding in Stardew Valley will be fun. And I'm also doing Stardew Valley Expanded, and I've never played Stardew Valley Expanded. And so, yeah, I'm excited to get to explore that and experience that on the channel. So keep an eye out for Wednesday, and I'll be posting that video then. But right now we're just kind of finishing cluttering up the kitchen. I have a little high chair. I also have the Parenthood like curfew board, the little leaf box. I also used the refrigerator. That's like one of the very first things I pulled out, is a refrigerator with all the magnets and stuff on it. And then I use a little rug there, and then we get a trash can over by that bathroom in a second. But first we're going to go do the living space because I wanted to see if there would be enough room for a dining table. And plot twist, there was not. When you squeeze in 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, not a lot of space left for quite literally anything else. So, it just kind of was what it was. And I was trying to find if I wanted another love seat. I end up just pulling out 2 like chairs, and they're not rare. Oh no, they are kind of comfy looking ones. I think they're from Businesses and Hobbies. And I like never use those chairs. And I think they match that sofa really well. I also find this rug like instantly. It's going to be a second. We're going to figure out what kind of curtains I want first. And I was being very indecisive. And I was like, I'll use the get together ones. But I always use the get together ones. And I end up just using these base game ones, which I also I don't use it that much, but I use probably more than I should. That rug right there. I just pulled it out. I was like, okay, this rug's actually perfect. I don't even remember where it's from. It's either from like Get or For Rent or oh my gosh, what were those packs that all came out? I think it's from For Rent. If I had to guess. And then I used that picture that came in the free base game update. And then I was trying to figure out what kind of coffee table I wanted to use. And I just love the single tile coffee tables. And so I don't think I've done this in a while, but I used the one from Tiny Living and then I sized it down and used it again. And now I'm trying to work on like this entry area space. I end up using this little clutter item. I think I end up using it in the final version of it. That little, what even is that? Embroidery hoops that come from Nifty Knitting, and then I end up putting some clutter by the front door. I put out some toy bins, and then also non-functional toy bins, these little framed photos, and the magazine rack, some non-functional toy bins again, just because I imagined that this is just like a very like lively area. You frequently have kids in here. You want them to feel welcome. You want them to be able to go in their spaces. And then I use these little felt flowers on the coffee table. And then we get the trash can, and then I add some picture frames. I imagine they could put some family photos in those. And then I use this like modern art that comes with literally it's just in the base game, but it's a defaults to this sloth print. And hot take, I really don't like sloths. And so I was like, oh, I won't use that. And then I end up using it, I think, in not the sloth swatch. I don't even remember what sloth. I don't even remember what swatch I end up using. But I do use for all of the bedrooms this Parenthood wallpaper, which I really like and I love in kid bedrooms, but I haven't been doing recently. I used to do it like all the time. And similarly, I used to always do that bookshelf in those, those little cubes, but I haven't done that in a while either. And then I use the little base game infant bed. I pull out a little play mat area for the infant to be on. I feel like that's really handy for gameplay. And then I put up some curtains. I tried to leave this space kind of open just because I want you to be able to walk around and be able to do things in said one. It also took me a while to figure out what rug I wanted to use. I pulled out that like quilted rug, but it just looks so much like a blanket that I can never bring myself to use it. And so I end up just using a rug from high school year. So I really left me looking through literally all these rug swatches in there. But I mean, that's what you get when you say you want to see my decision-making process, me looking at a million different rugs and just picking one that I always use. Because I think it looks very nice. And then I end up using a wall decal and also the giraffe. But I ended up using the wall decal because I was like, I need something over here. It feels so empty. But I didn't want to use a wall decal, and then I just ended up using a wall decal. So it didn't even matter in the end. And then after this, I believe we transition over to the teen/kids room. I didn't really quite imagine who was going to live there, and I tried to make like all of these like kids rooms not too like gender specific or like content area, like not too hyper focused on one thing. Obviously that's really easy to do in the infants room, but then like in the kids and teens room it's a little bit harder to do. And so I just gave them like a desk. I gave them this pretty big dresser because if you're sharing a room, you're gonna want a lot of places to store your clothes. And then I'm pretty sure I do like a toy box. I do a Blarfy, not the Blarfy. I did the weird Blarfy that just came in the rewards event. But yeah, I use this desk. I also use this little kitty chair. I just tried to keep it all like blue, which like I mean, blue is like quote unquote a stereotypically boy color, but I feel like a teal color makes it a little bit more feminine. And also, like, color shouldn't have like genders, so whatever. Yeah, I put it in the toy box, and I put in that reading poster, that stack of books, and I don't remember what I ended up putting. Oh, I ended up putting more arts and crafts stuff because I put some in that little hutch in the kitchen. And then the last thing we've got is just a little bit of the primary bedroom, and I didn't do too much in there, just kind of like some yellowy orangey colors to kind of tie in with the rest of the build. But yeah, there's nothing really exciting going on there. But if you guys like this build at all, it's available on the gallery. All of the information to get it off the gallery will be in the description box below. And thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate you joining me on this lovely day. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. I see that we're slowly growing, and that makes me so happy.